When did this open?
Just about a year ago.
Okay. I think I done did every attraction,
Oh,
but I
You
missed
getting
this
around?
one. Yeah, I did most of them. I haven't done this, and then I think they just opened up the Broadway Theater Museum.
oh yeah, it's right across the street here.
Yes.
They just when did
Like
that
in
one
November.
open?
November.
November, so that
Yeah,
was
about
recent.
mid-November.
Okay, so I haven't did that one over there yet either. So
It's definitely a lot to see.
I'm pretty sure that's
Plan out your
over.
day accordingly.
Huh?
Just plan out your day accordingly.
Yeah.
I hear
Yeah.
some people like spend like 3 hours in there sometimes.
There's a
just,
lot
like,
to
looking
read,
around.
that's why.
I'm saying that what was it? Started going back to the 1700s, right?
In the
For the
Broadway
theater,
Museum?
yeah. 'Cause I'm saying the let me breathe. The shows, like the Broadway shows, started like 1700s.
Yeah, but it's more focusing on not like maybe more towards like the 1800s, like
Okay.
early 1900s.
'Cause that's when like the whole Times Square got started, right around like 1830s, 1840s.
Yeah, it shows you like the history like of the theaters and everything. There you go. You can go ahead and start upstairs on the second floor.
Second floor. All right, thank you.
Second floor. This part of the ride.
Welcome to the exhibit of Rise New York. How you guys doing today? Oh, he will be recording everybody. Hello, people.
Yeah.
All right, restrooms are down the hall to your left. If you want a coat that you want to hang up, you go ahead and put out a coat check. And you guys are going to go ahead and line up right over here, okay?
Yeah. You say code in, I can check my bag too?
No. We just have a coat rack.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Just
just
oh, no, it
code
say bag check. That's all. I was just
Oh,
reading
yeah,
that.
no, we don't have that.
Okay.
All right, come on in. I don't want nobody lingering on the stairs. I don't want nobody getting hurt. Restrooms are down the hall to your left. If you have a coat rack, you guys can place your belongings, your coats on. Then you guys are gonna go, yeah, over here. That's easy. Hold that in mind. I think that was somebody in You guys know where to go? We're waiting. You can still go ahead and line up and then they'll just follow. It's different. Yeah, we don't have the same setup as them. So everybody's really on the same road together. So everybody pretty much, yeah, because it's really like but you get the same uniform, which right now. So everybody sees it the same. I know, I want to see this sword, bro, because it's like, everybody's like, oh, what is it? You don't see people dancing.
But just different setup.
Okay.
Welcome, little mother tongue pants. What's your name? Annabella? That's so pretty. That's really nice. Good job, Mom. No. I actually love that name. My husband said no if I was out of the way. He was like, no. He was like, no. What's your name? Sophia. That's pretty. My daughter's name is Elena. So it's like, yeah. New York. Oh, well, my family's from Puerto Rico. Yeah. Well, my husband is half black, half Lithuanian. So his last, yes, his last name is potato. That's the name of the we tried to mix it. It was like, oh, hell no. Eso parece bien, pero es vista. I really love that name. That was one of my boy names. Scratch. Yeah. If I would have had a boy, his name would have been it's all right. It's okay. So just to let you guys know, first we get down the hall to your left. We have a coat right here and we're going to place your coats on it. And then you guys are going to go ahead and line them over there. All right. Welcome, familia. Come here. Familia. He was our first woman. Very handsome, very pretty. Lucky man. So restrooms are down the hall to your left. We have a coat rack if you guys want to use it. And then, yes, you're going to line up right over there. Boy. They think we got to use the restroom. Carry your bag. Oh, yeah, you know what's there. We got to take a ride, but we have something to do that. It's funny, I think he's talking to ask like, you want me to carry your bag, girl? You sound like my daughter. You got hair like my daughter, though. All right, so welcome, everyone. We're going to start you guys off with a short movie about how New York City, I've been doing this for so long, I'm getting all my words mixed up. So we're going to start you guys off with a short movie about how New York City became the greatest city on earth. And you want to know why? Because it made this lady right here. After that, you guys are going to be walking through our exhibit of New York City icon, making sure they catch the tipping point, the historic innovations that brought the world from the past to the present. There are QR codes on the posters to listen to expert commentary. After that, you guys will be going upstairs to our observation deck, where you'll have a breathtaking view of New York City, have the ride of your life, and experience a New Year's Eve ball drop on a historic night. So are you guys ready for the celebration? No, you're not. No, you're not. I need a feeling in mi corazón. Okay, I got a feeling in my heart. Are you guys ready for the celebration?
Yeah!
That's what I'm talking about. I've been up since 5:30. I need you guys to wake me up. I can't be waking all y'all people up. All right, let's get it started. Let's get it started. You're welcome. And I'm like this in real life. This is not an act. I drain my husband every day. Sometimes he doesn't know what to do with me. He's going to put me back on the market. All right, so welcome to the subway, which was a tipping point of change for New York City and the world. You're sitting in a replica of the very first subway station, built almost 100 years ago at City Hall. Our Rise team worked with filmmaker Rick Burns and the very handsome, don't judge me, Jeff Goldblum. Yes, he old and he really tall. All right, that's my type. So please sit back, relax, and see how New York City all got started. Enjoy.
On October 27, 1904, at 2:35 p.m. precisely, in a gleaming new subway station 30 feet below City Hall, Mayor George B. McClellan, son of a famous Civil War general, officially opened the first subway in New York, recklessly throttling the first train up to full speed and racing uptown underground, towards a sleepy district 4 miles to the north, where the New York Times was just completing its brand new 22-story headquarters at the foot of an hourglass-shaped crossroads that the city had renamed Times Square in the paper's honor. The most famous, vibrant, and thrilling urban district on earth roared into life just as the forces that would soon send New York City itself soaring skyward converged on the island of Manhattan. The culmination of the most explosive century of growth and change in the city's history. As the center of New York surged up the island of Manhattan, following the path of a Native American trail that the Dutch settlers had called RiseNY, or Broadway. From the stock markets of Wall Street to the raucous newspapers across from City Hall, up to the giant department stores on Madison Square, where by 1876 passers-by stared up in wonder at the giant arm of an unfinished Statue of Liberty, still looking for funds and something to stand on. But it was in the next 3 decades that New York City would finish coming into its own on a spectacular scale, as millions upon millions of immigrants poured through the harbor and onto the streets of a city that by 1882 had become the first on earth to be lit by electricity. And that as the clock struck midnight on December 31st, 1898, dramatically expanded its borders literally overnight to encompass a vast 5-borough metropolis, connected to itself by 1904 by what would become the largest subway system in the world. Its hundreds of miles of track all inexorably converging at the intersection of Broadway and 42nd Street, in what was now called Times Square. On New Year's Eve that same year, confirming its status as the new throbbing heart of the greatest city in America, immense crowds gathered in Times Square for the first time, for a publicity stunt dreamed up by the publishers of the New York Times, counting down the seconds to the stroke of midnight. From then on, New Yorkers, and soon much of the rest of the world, would ring in the new year with a delirious celebration in Times Square. And it was only the beginning. In the years to come, the astonishing mix of creative energies in New York, black and white, immigrant and native-born, Jewish, Italian, Irish, African-American, and Anglo-Saxon, would burst into glorious expression as a new and distinctively American kind of culture, brash and vital, electric and pulsing, now began to come into its own.
I found myself at the cross Times Square. I'm saying hello to Broadway.
Just as New York City itself was lifting straight up into the skies, becoming the world headquarters of a new kind of modern mass culture, consecrated to everything air-minded and upwardly mobile, air travel, skyscrapers, motion pictures, the media, high fashion, and before long radio. A thrilling city of spectacle, fantasy, movement, and dreams, whose very heart and soul was based in Times Square. By 1929, no fewer than 66 Broadway theaters, along with hundreds of nightclubs, vaudeville houses, and movie palaces, were drawing in 250,000 people each and every night, to a district now bathed in the glow of 1 million incandescent lights, and known around the world as the Great White Way. Now the greatest incubator of talent in human history, and the birthplace of one of America's greatest contributions to world culture, the Broadway musical.
Oh, you're a youngster, but you've got to come back a star.
By 1940, Times Square had become the first place in the world where people gathered to get news in real time, as it was happening on the never-ending electric zipper that coursed around the Times Tower. On August 14, 1945, more than 2 million people gathered in Times Square to learn that 6 long years of World War had finally come to an end. Ushering in an era of American preeminence as never before, making New York and Times Square itself the crossroads of the world.